Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Thanks for joining me again. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yesterday's video. I showed you guys how to install this drop ceiling, and now today we're going to do a little bit of electrical work. I don't recommend you do this if you don't know what you're doing or if you aren't comfortable. Make sure you're doing any electrical work you have an electrician's approval and he is confident that you know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, call him and ask him up, because building codes in different areas might be different, and I don't condone any going outside of building code because that can possibly start a fire. So you make sure you do it safe. I'm doing all of the stuff outside of the electrical box. Once you get to the electrical box, I'm leaving it to the electrician just because peace of mind, insurance, blah blah blah. So he's going to inspect my wires. I'm going to do the rough in, pull all the cables, get them all ready to go, and then we're going to wire everything. Well, we're not going to wire everything today. We're going to wire everything when it comes time, because first we need to put the drywall up, and then it's going to be easier to put the drywall up if you don't have, when you don't got all your devices sticking up, because your drywall actually sits under some of these switches, and then once you got your switches done, you put your plate on top. So I've pretty much got everything ready to go here. Well, this is all the stuff we're putting in, so that's good to know what we're putting in before we actually go and do the project. So if you don't know, you're going to get into the project and you're going to realize, well, let's put radiant floor heating. Well, now you've got to rip out drywall to install wires to run your floor heating. So you've got to plan out, make sure you've got everything wired correctly with the right wire gauge size and everything like that, appropriate to what you're installing. Now, I went a little overkill. I got 12-2 wire, and that's for like full on, 1500 watts at 220 volts or something like that. Don't quote me on that. I might be just blabbering off the top of my head. But anyways, I've got a lot of room for error. So, or if I want to switch it up, I can add more heat or use more power through that wire because it's capable. So it's a little overkill, that's fine. This is the floor heating that we've got. It's 120 volt. So it's not 220 volt, which is fine. And it uses 156 watts. So it's not a big unit. It doesn't require a lot of heat, and it doesn't put a lot of heat. But this is just to keep the edge off of, during the cold winter months, so we can go to the bathroom without having to wear flippers and socks. Getting back into bed with cold toes. So I've got the box run up, and the box is installed. That wire is ran, so we're gonna finish off installing the ceiling, because the drop ceiling needed to be installed before I went ahead and installed my light pods, or whatever you want to call these things. No idea what the technical terms are, but we're gonna put these up, get them run with some wires, so that I can tell the electrician that he can come and inspect my wiring. So let's get started. I've already went ahead and marked my stuff ahead of this video to get prepared. So it's just a matter of going, oh, there's my mark. That's where I want the light. Light over here. It's over here. Yeah. Ideally, I wanted it 2 inches over, but that's fine. See, now this is something I didn't even look at, because now I've got to put a box fan in here, and this light is too close. So we may end up having to move this light above the toilet. So yeah, there's my solution. I'm going to move the fan above the toilet. It's just going to extend the pipe an extra few feet, which is completely fine. Put the fan in. Oh yeah, that's another good question. Should I insulate the pipe before I put it up there? So should I buy a pipe wrap around my fan duct keep the condensation. I'll have to look that up and get back to you guys whether I'm going to insulate that pipe or not. Or you guys can let me know in the comments below. Should I insulate that pipe? That's a good question. I have no idea. Alright, let's run some wire.
Let's go. Time to grind, get inside your mind. Yeah, we working overtime. That's the only way to climb. We gon' make it in our prime. Signing on the dotted line, cashing checks left and right. That's the way I'm living life. I feel alive when I got a goal in sight. Chip away, I gotta fight. Ain't nobody else in sight. Man, I think I see the light. Yeah, that shit is so bright. Follow me, I got the guide. See you on the other side, son.
Always make sure there's nothing on the other side, so you're not opening any wires, pipes, plumbing, anything. Make sure there's nothing on the other side.
I'm about to take off, never gonna stop till I'm chilling at the top.
When in doubt, what you should do is you should text your electrician if you have any questions. I have a question. Should I run all 3 wires from the lights to the switch, or can I run 1 wire to the light and then to the next light and then to the next light, similar to a smoke detector? Because it seems logical that you don't want to have 6 wires into a little tiny box and have to connect them all up singly, in one big bunch. It just doesn't seem logical from what he was explaining to me when we first originally started doing electrical work in his house. So I'm going to double check and make sure that I'm doing it correctly with my electrician before I go ahead and continue this job. But there's other jobs we can do. So this is a tricky one, because here I've got a pipe that runs in between this 2x4 behind my finger, and I can't just drill straight up because that's a pipe right there. So there's no way for me to feed a wire straight down from here into this cavity. That's why these water lines run horizontal. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to follow the same line and run the wire in through here, out here, directly in the center, just like the water pipes, and into the box. Let's see if I can get that better shot. I've got to put the wire through the 2x4 into this 2x4 to get to the light box. So hopefully we can get that nice clean run. We've got this. No problem.
Moves, I'm that dude, but I see you from the top, yeah, real soon. Looking down on the haters that I've been through. Told them I'll see you later, yeah, big truth. I keep a real good pace, built a big house, damn, look at that place. Up in my mind.
Okay, what I've essentially done is I've put a hole in this way, straight this way, all the way through. And then I did the same for this way. I moved the pipe out of the way, put a straight hole in here, and that way I can run the wire directly in the center of the 2x4. Has to code, and then I'll run my light up straight to the light switch. The light from the light switch. There we go.
Living my life, my way, my path, I go.
Make sure you put some staples and stuff around your electrical. Make sure it's nice and secure. Every 12 to 16 inches, I believe it was, if I remember correctly. Some other places might be a little bit different. Sometimes you can just get away with just a couple and you'll still pass inspection, but just make sure you put a couple of these in. Everything's got to be 1.5 inches inside the 2x4 so that it doesn't get nicked by drywall screws, etc. Start fires. There you go. I'm going to put you on a time lapse. Catch you in a bit.
Yo, when it ain't toxic, shut your mouth and pick a different topic. Taking off like a rocket, got that energy, you can call me socket. Doing that bossish, all I do is focus on increasing that profit. Yeah, I'm on like a faucet, ready to make another deposit. Never been complacent since I was 8, I steady stay chasing. Always winning adjacent, side by side, grind hard in the basement. Ain't no replacement, only one me, yes, to the free agent. Cause I go with this payments, otherwise I don't really have any patience. Making that honey, I wanna be something that's more than just money. I wanna teach others and see them becoming a version they never thought. Now they be hunting their goals and their dreams, yeah, all in their reach. They listen to me, the things that I...
And if you're not quite sure whether you should cut some of this wire, just leave it. If you need to cut it, you can always cut it later, but you can't make it longer. That's for sure. Until I actually hear back from the electrician, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Actually pull that out of the box and realize that can't go through my drop ceiling the way it sits. So now I've got to either convert this to a 90 and go straight up and then go up a few inches and then go over top, or whether I'm going to build this box down so that it's just an extension of the box. Oh man, decisions. I don't know what to do yet. I haven't figured out a solution yet, but I've got to put this up here. Like that. I think we'll get a couple 90s. And then it's got to go up and then over. No problem. Got this figured out. You always find something and you're always like overlooking and go, oh, shoot, why didn't I think about that? No worries, we got this figured out. So I will put it on the grocery list for the next time we go to the store and we'll get that sorted out. So I'm not going to mount this until I have the 90s and whatever to make that corner. The other thing I can do, I've got some flexible pipe that I might be, since it's not a dryer vent, so it's not pulling, lint and stuff through. I think that will be a sufficient way to solve the problem.
There's too much that's going on, I don't know what to do. Paralyzed by options in this world, can't pick and choose. Yeah, everybody's life is on display, including you. Yeah, I feel every day is just the same, stuck in a loop. I need some variety, I'm sick of this anxiety. I'm sick of this society, they make us feel a rivalry. Compare ourselves to others, but we all got different mothers. We were raised in different structures, so we're different, it's no wonder, yeah. I just want a great life, something where I feel like I just didn't waste time. Something I look back and say that was a great time. Cause man, I just hate when the years pass by the wayside. I'm so lost inside, and I need a little time to find who I am in this life. I will find a way to feel alive. I'm so lost inside.
So I managed to get the fan installed. It was a little bit tricky, but I managed to get it. It's nice and flush. It'll come right out of the drywall where it's supposed to be. Just gotta do the ducting. I'm gonna just do the electrical for now. I put the wires tucked up into there for now. The wire just runs into the box and it's just plastic nutted together like it's supposed to be, and she's ready to go. Summer came by, put some metal plates over them, which is awesome. The electrician also got back to me, and we discussed earlier in the video that having each light connect to each other was better than having all the wires connect into one box, because then there's so many wires that you would have to jam into that little tiny box and then having to close it up. It's just not correct.
Presence, energy, and a direction, so I follow intuition. It took me to a musician, now I'm on a different mission to help others with afflictions. Now I'm not lost.
So now that I've got that figured out, this is my solution to get around the problem. So this has got to go up there because the 2x4 is in the way. If the ducting's got to go up and in between the joists. So I asked my mom to go get me some 90s, cut some 90s. So we're going to put those in a little bit later after I'm done the lights. So we got one more light pot. One of these guys to put in, and then we'll get that put in. And then we're ready to wire some lights and some smoke detectors. Got all my light boxes put in. Got one above the mirror, and one above the toilet and one above the door. This room should be completely lit up, or in case you don't want it too bright, we've got a dimmer switch so we can turn it down. Turn it off and on, blah blah blah, which is cool. That's all good. Approved by the electrician. Electrician says it's good to go. Just need to call him in here in the next few days and we'll get this passed by the inspector, take a bunch of pictures, and then hopefully we can go ahead and get some trial up. So that'll be exciting. First we got to do some vapor barrier and insulating and some messy acoustic seal work over here. Once that's all done, we can move on to the next project and get this bathroom finished up. I got a few more things to touch up. I'm gonna run my ducting work. I need to find my duct tape, which is like aluminum tape, about yay wide. Got to wrap around a good piece there, and then run my ducting outside, drill a hole, and put all that together, and we should be good to go. Alright, so the last one, we're gonna install this smoke detector. We got this little adapter thing, so we just gotta wire this up. Hook it up there and we're done. So we're just gonna pop these ground screws out. Just a little bit more. So you can take the screw and just wrap it around. Wrap the ground wire around it. Nice. Force it up into the hole. Let's go this way. That's one ground wire up. Take this other one. Snug. She ain't going nowhere. Now, for knuckles and fingers' sake, probably tuck these pointy ground wires out of the way, because nothing worse than being stabbed and bleeding everywhere. Oh yeah, I was out in the shop and I forgot the strippers. Of course I did. So if you don't have strippers, you can give it a light squeeze, not hard. Twist around probably 2 or 3 times. Probably help if everything is out of the way first. You don't want it too tight, just enough to break the plastic. So you don't want to damage that copper, because it is actually fairly fragile. You think it's metal, but it's not. It's not a very solid metal. If you bend this often enough, it will snap. Give it a good 2-3 turns. these guys out of the way. The next one. Now the manual, if you look at the smoke detector manual, this says orange. It's actually red. That's okay. This is a 14-3 wire. And if I remember correctly, one circuit can support like 7 or 10 devices or something like that. So you can have like 7 to 10 smoke detectors on one circuit. So, break that plastic loose. Okay. All you want to do is group colors together. Black's in the middle, side. You want to take some of these, appropriate size to the amount of wires you're putting in, 2, 3, 4, probably no more than 4. There's probably some definite rules that you'll have to follow, so make sure you talk to the electrician so you know exactly what wire size, how many wires, blah blah blah. It's always good to double check. Don't buy these on Amazon. There we go. And trash. Pair of pliers, give them a couple spins. A cap on top of it. Okay, that isn't going to work. Okay, I'm going to show you what I did wrong and how to fix it. Okay, you see how that copper wire is showing? And this is as far as it goes on. That will not pass inspection. So make sure that there's no copper visible when you're doing stuff like this. It's very important. You can use, take it off. Just gonna move this out of the way for a sec. Now, what you gotta do is you gotta line these bottom pieces up because one is shorter than the other. put it together, it will not match. Okay, now they match. Now you can give them a good twist again. If it is too long, like for example, this might be a little too long. So what I'll do is I'll chop that last two pieces off. I don't want to step on these, so I can catch them. Bucket. Okay, that's a little better. Pop this over top. Put the screw cap on. And now it's ready for inspection. Oh, that one wire is 2 more to go. So this one doesn't have a ground wire on it. I mean, the smoke detector doesn't have a ground wire, but when it attaches via a screw, it automatically grounds to the box. So you still have to attach your ground wire. So it's 4 wires you got to attach, not 3. Screw cap ready to go. 2 wires. You don't really need off. Should look like when it's done. You don't want to overdo it because you will break the copper. Keep these nice and organized. Now I know for a fact nothing's connected up here. There's no power up here. I can touch all these wires. Nothing's gonna happen. Make sure you turn the breaker off at the breaker if you showed up late in this video. Now I got the black wire wrapped around the other 2 copper wires. We're gonna protect it with a cap. Put it away. Now, if you're unsure, you can always ask the your local electrician to take one apart and double check to make sure that these wires are proper, the right length. Because if you missed a spot and you got to tear drywall and do this all over again, you're hooped. Like, that would suck. Always triple check that you're doing everything correctly and to code, to your local city bylaws, building codes, etc. So electricity is no joke. And I don't want to be liable for your screw-ups. Cap. A whole bucket full over here. Okay, now that these are all done, what I'm gonna do, knock the screw out, pull these white wires until just a little bit showing. Tuck these in, make sure there's no wires showing on the 3 power wires, and then she's good to go. So we're gonna have to do some drywall later. And she's ready for a smoke detector. She's ready to be connected to the other smoke detectors, so if there's a fire here, all the smoke detectors go off because of this one red wire. If the smoke detector goes off in the laundry room, all of these go on, and there's one in each bedroom. There's also one in the utility room. The utility room and this one here, I believe, are both battery powered. I'm not sure if the other smoke detectors will go off because there'll be no power to those if there's no power. Might have to replace the other ones with battery powered if I want them all to be battery powered. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video. Hope you guys found this video informative. Have a good day and see you guys later. Peace.